Have you ever had a bad gut feeling about somebody and it was right? My parents had a small home business, and one day a woman named Sylvia came by holding an infant, looking for my parents. I told her they weren't home, but she was welcome to wait as they had mentioned she would be by. I had a very bad feeling about her. She sat, and began to talk, and she spoke quite well. But I noticed she contradicted herself. She was wearing an engagement ring, but not a wedding band, for example, but she went back and forth between calling her partner Seth her husband, boyfriend and fiancé. She told me the infant was her soon-to-be daughter. She and her partner were adopting her through private adoption. She seemed to me very slick while pretending to be very down-to-earth. I couldn't wait for my parents to return. When they finished with their business, I told my parents in clear terms not to get involved with her, personally or professionally. They expressed great shock and dismay and said she was a wonderful person. It seemed she popped up whenever I was visiting my parents. When the little girl was walking, Sylvia chased her around saying, "Seth and I don't believe in hitting children," and kept putting her in timeout for every little thing. Then, when my mother had her back turned and Sylvia didn't know I was behind her, Sylvia slapped her on the leg, hard. The baby didn't cry, which made me think she was used to being hit. I graduated and got a job in an apartment. Years went by. This woman adopted a second time with her husband, 2 boys out of foster care, 1 infant, 1 preschooler. She made the state's largest paper for a civic award. She seemed golden, and my parents saw her often as a friend and business associate. They told me I had been wrong about her. Years later, I had forgotten all about her when it was on the news that someone had hired an underage boy to do some illegal work on their property. The boy was severely injured, and when the ambulance arrived, with police in tow, they found 3 other children in severe neglect. Who were the parents? Seth and Sylvia. Later, it came out from the children that they were being used as, in one of the children's words, forced labor. Not allowed to have friends over, and being homeschooled where they did nothing but chores in and outside of the house all day. They prepared all the meals and served them to the parents, and only ate the leftovers. They had to care for all the animals, which were significant in number. They did all the housework, yard work, washed and cleaned the cars, anything you can think of, they did, and were beaten if they didn't comply. They both wound up doing time for endangerment of minors, assault, and child abuse. Later, the 3 adopted children filed a civil suit against the parents and won.